Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Lowell Park for a matinee as your Bourne Braves are set to take on the Cotuit Kettleers. That is the West Division champs, Bourne Braves, who are now in the bottom of the first after a 1-2-3 from Joe Lampe ground out to second, a Max Anderson ground out to third, and a Dalton rushing fly out to left field. And Ken Turner taking the mound. And apologies for the late start, a bit of technical difficulties on our end, but Ken Turner starts it off in a line drive right up the middle for a base knock off Ken Turner's first pitch.
Yeah, nice job there by Jace Grady, just taking that fastball right back where it came from, and Cotuit has the first hit of the game. Obviously, couldn't come to, top of the first, technical difficulties here at Cotuit with the connection here, but now that we're on, it was a Dalton rushing, hard hit line drive to left field, and thought it was going to get down, but a nice running catch out there in left field by Matt Suggs.
Well, the Braves dropped their fourth game of the season against the Orleans Firebirds yesterday at Eldridge Park. Grady on first. He's 1 for 1 on the day. That's his 12th hit of the season. Showing bunt. Dalton rushing behind the plate, throws it down to Grady. Did he get him? They say no. He jumped back. This is Carter Trice at the plate for the Cotuit Kettleers, who are 12, 16, and 1 on the season, and they are battling for their lives in the West Division and for playoff hopes that are just around the corner. 0-1 breaking ball to Trice, low and outside. Dalton rushing is behind the plate in what has been a three-man rotation at the catching position. Garcia is not in the lineup, but Peter Burns is at the 8 spot as your designated hitter.
Yeah, good for Pete tonight, getting to be the DH. Dalton catching. Obviously, I think Harvey Shapiro just trying to get some more offense in this Bourne Braves lineup.
And that's the second base knock of the day. Improving to second will be Jace Grady at first, Trice. So 2 base knocks off of Ken Turner. Not the start he was looking for. Bottom of the first with still no outs.
Yeah, just 2 hard-hit balls, just balls that are finding too much of the plate, and now here is Ryan Ritter for the Kettleers, moving up in the 3 spot. It's been a hot hitter of late as Ritter, so getting moved up in the order. Obviously a big loss for the Kettleers. We talked about it pregame, losing Luke Gold. He suffered an injury on a home run swing yesterday versus the Harbor Hawks. And for Cotuit, it's a big loss. Don't know how many games he'll miss, but however it is a breaking ball misses high. It's obviously, you know very well from being at BC, Daniel, you know how good Luke Gold is. Obviously, he was Cotuit's best hitter. I don't think there's an argument there. And he's going to be sorely missed, but obviously through the first 2 hitters in Grady and Trice, not missing him yet.
Not missing him just yet. 2 base knocks off the first 2 batters that Ken Turner has faced. A fastball in the inner half, 2-0 now to Ritter, who's 19 for 66, a homer with 4 RBIs for the Kentucky Wildcat, who now has men on first and second. From left to right in the infield is Anderson. Schobel at short. And right to Schobel now. Ground ball. Can they turn 2? They have him at second, and they have him at first. Gun over to Joshua Moylan. 2 outs just like that. But Jace Grady improves to third base. But a great play where Tanner Schobel flipped it to Zach Agnos at second, who gunned it over to Joshua Moylan, getting Ritter out on a ground ball double play.
Well, what happened last night in the first inning? Got a ground ball double play. Obviously, Bennett was a little bit unlucky, then gave up the 3-run homer, so trying to limit the damage after the double play here tonight in Cotuit. Should say today, 4:30 first pitch, earliest we've had all year.
Good breaking ball from Ken Turner on the upper half. This is the 4-spot hitter in Eric Brown Jr., the second baseman, who's batting .238, 8 RBIs and 3 home runs. He has Grady at third, but 2 outs quickly. Ken Turner, chopper to Anderson, fields it at his chest, guns it over to out number 3. And Jace Grady is stranded at third. Again, apologies about the late start here tonight, or I should say this afternoon in this matinee game at Lowell Park. The first inning is over. We're going to the top of the second where the Braves will have their second opportunity in the batter's box. Ken Turner gets out but allows 2 base knocks in the West Division matchup. Back with you, top of the second. My name is Daniel Coates. Alongside me, Reeves Jackson. In the second inning of this afternoon game, Colby Thomas starts things off against Fruit with a chopper foul down the third base line, and Fruit made quick work of the top of the order for the Braves in a 1-2-3 inning. Joe Lampe and Max Anderson grounded out. Dalton Rushing had a good hit on it, a liner to left field, but fielded cleanly in left by Suggs on the run. 0-1 for Zach Fruit, the Eastern Michigan pitcher. 2 foul balls from Colby Thomas, another breaking ball from Fruit, and another one chopped foul down the third base line.
Yeah, we were told from the Cotuit broadcast team that Cotuit opting to go with what you could more look at as an opener here today in Fruit, who's been seen primarily out of the bullpen for the Kettleers this year, so maybe hurting on some pitching depth and opting to go with Fruit to try to bridge that gap to the later innings.
Another foul ball down the third base line. Colby Thomas ahead of it, but he had a 3-run shot last night at Eldridge Park, an absolute bomb.
Whew, was it crushed.
The 4th home run, and improved him to 13 RBIs on the season. Colby Thomas has exploded in the later half of this season. 0-2.
Ooh.
That one's going to catch him in the helmet off a fastball. He looks okay, but he's taking his time out of the batter's box and hit him right on the helmet.
Yeah, that was a fastball, too. Oh, Colby, luckily to get the head out of the way. We saw it last night with Schobel, but it was a breaking ball, thank goodness. Obviously, you don't want to get hit in the head ever. But for Colby there, obviously, that was a fastball there from Fruit, riding up and in. He had been trying to establish that inside corner there to Colby. Colby fouled a few pitches off down that third base line, well foul. But at least Colby's okay, and the Braves have a leadoff base runner for a guy who's been as hot at the plate as anybody on this team in Tanner Schobel.
Tanner Schobel, who was also hit by a pitch twice yesterday. So Colby Thomas taking over that role for him. But as you mentioned, Reed, Tanner Schobel has been as hot as any batter for this team. He's being put again in the 5 spot in the middle of the lineup. He's at short defensively. And Colby Thomas will be the first base runner that Fruit has had to deal with. He usually deals out of the stretch, and he will continue to do so, but he'll have to keep an eye on Colby Thomas, who is a speedy outfielder now on the base path. On deck, Joshua Moylan, Tanner Schobel stepping in, and Fruit had a great top of the first. A breaking ball on the outer half called strike, and that was as close as it's going to get.
Yeah, obviously Schobel, who had that single last night, has now hit safely in 6 of his last 7 games. So Tanner swinging a hot stick at the plate.
Has an opportunity to break that 300 average mark tonight. 3 homers and 12 RBIs. Fruit weakly tosses it over to first. Colby Thomas easily safe. An 0-1 count on this picture-perfect day in Cotuit.
It is beautiful. One of the best days we've had for baseball all season long.
It's a steamy day, though. Colby Thomas going, the throw, the slide in. They call him safe. A great throw from Donlin, but the left hand of Colby Thomas diving head first, caught the bag first.
Yeah, good jump there by Colby. Picked a good pitch to run on as well. Went on the breaking ball. Donlin made a solid throw down to second. And over there at second was Eric Brown, who kind of had to reach back for the tag and then apply it to Colby. It was just a hair late. Good slide from Colby, too, going around the outside part of the bag as Donlin pays Fruit a visit to see how they want to handle Schobel. 1-1 count, and the Braves threatening early with the runner on second to a Cotuit team that has just not been able to find their stride lately. They're 2-7-1 in their last 10. Obviously had the 10-run defeat to the hands of the Harbor Hawks last night, 15-5. But a Hyannis offense that has been exploding as of late with so many games in which they've amassed double-digit runs. So who knows what to make of that game. But Cotuit just definitely not in the right mindset at this current moment here during the season.
Fruit steps off and gives Colby Thomas a look.
Although it's not perfectly a must-win game, Cotuit really needs this.
Yeah.
They really need this game, especially with the way Falmouth and Wareham have been playing.
The delivery from Fruit with a breaking ball low and outside. Strike number 2. Now a 1-2 count to Tanner Schobel, who's batting .290, 3 homers and 12 RBIs for the Virginia Tech Hokie. And as we mentioned, we secured the West Division in the top spot after the Falmouth Commodores went down at the hands of the Chatham Anglers. 2-0. Breaking ball just drifting on the outer half for the righty. And although we didn't get it done in Orleans, we will take that, and you have to keep your chin high because we're now West Division champs. And
yes, we are.
This is a time where you can't move towards a transition period. You have to move towards a period where you need to figure out who you are and what type of team you're going to be in the playoffs as Tanner Schobel fouls one into the dugout of the Kettleers.
Obviously for the Braves, you don't want to move into a transition period, but you have the freedom to if you need to for a few games. So the Braves have already, as you mentioned, already locked up the 1 seed and have clinched that West Division crown. So if they need to, they can to find out where their lineup wants to be. Obviously, Harvey Shapiro, as that breaking ball misses down and away for a full count now. Obviously, Harvey Shapiro kind of experimenting with the lineup as far as rushing back behind the plate tonight. Peter Bourne's at DH, so he wants Pete's bat in the lineup, but obviously because Pete caught it was Garcia that caught last night. So
yes,
having Pete in the lineup tonight but giving him a day off from behind the plate, maybe expecting Pete catching tomorrow.
Breaking ball high on a 3-2 count, and Tanner Schobel on base. 2 base runners, but no hits yet for the Bourne Braves, who are looking to draw blood first. And Joshua Moylan, a guy who has been on an upward trend as of late. 2 nights ago, he had a homer over the right field wall at Doran Park, looking to add on to his offensive attack. He's 7 for 51 on the season. 1 homer and 3 RBIs. Colby Thomas at second, Tanner Schobel behind him at first. No outs in the top of the second. Fastball taken down left field. Will it stay fair? That is going to stay fair. Colby Thomas now being held at third, and a base knock for Josh Moylan. And for a guy that has looked so solid in batting practice, it is translating for the Braves during play at the end of the season, and one of the most clutch times that Joshua Moylan's bat can come alive.
There's no one that you're happier for in this lineup than Josh Moylan. Simply put it, he's had struggles all season long. He's finally getting that bat to come around. And if the Braves want to make a solid run in the postseason, they're going to need Josh Moylan's bat. He gets moved up into the 6th spot tonight, which I was very happy to see when the lineup came out. Obviously, Agno's back in there at second. You could really see that be a regular thing now that Braylon Wimmer is gone. Obviously, it might change when Knapczyk is back, but you could spell Schobel or Knapp with the day off with Agnos over at second. Infield going to draw on here with the bases juiced.
Bases loaded. Agnos passes on a breaking ball that drifts low and outside. His ECU teammate with a base knock that loaded the bases. One that was slicing down the third base line and just stayed fair. No chance for Suggs. Agnos fouls one back into the backstop of the fence here at Lowell Park, and Agnos is 180 on the season. He has 8 RBIs. Colby Thomas and Tanner Schobel at third and second.
Yeah, one of the steamier afternoons we've had in the Cape this summer was 88 was the peak time. Now about 84 here in Cotuit and Barnstable.
Breaking ball outside. Now 2-1. Agnos moving over to second base for the second game in a row. I have to imagine Max Anderson has really taken over that position at third where Zach was seen at the beginning of the season. 3-1 after a fastball just misses the left shoulder of Agnos. He dives away out of the batter's box. 3-1, and Fruit struggling here after what was a quick top of the first. 1-2-3. He went through Joe Lampe, Max Anderson, and Dalton Rushing. Now the middle and the latter half of this lineup making some noise early on here at Lowell Park. This is an opportunity for the Braves, who haven't been able to get a lead in the last few games, to start it off. That is their bread and butter. Peter Burns on deck. This is an opportunity where you cannot strand with the bases loaded, especially no outs in the top of the second. This is a tone setter for the rest of the game.
Yeah, the Braves are notoriously an early scoring team, and not only do they score early, but they do it in bunches, and that is the perfect opportunity here, and Agnos looking to draw a walk maybe.
3-1 cut and missed. He tips it, but the catch by Donlin. 3-2.
It's going to be a very interesting pitch here. Obviously, I expect Fruit to come back with the fastball. Would be very, very gutsy to go with a breaking ball here to try to risk that pitch.
Payoff pitch. Did he hold back? They say he went. Zach Agnos strikes out on a check swing, a fastball that was well high of the strike zone. And Agnos, according to the first base umpire, went, and Peter Burns will try and answer after Agnos goes down swinging. Peter Burns, the designated hitter for the day, who bats .195 with 3 RBIs.
Yeah, definitely a good call from the first base umpire. Felt like Zach definitely went around there. Just tough. It was up and inside. He was trying so hard to lay off, but couldn't.
There goes Peter Burns, a slap to center field. It's going to get down. Colby Thomas easily scoring, and Peter Burns has his 4th RBI of the season. 1-0. The Braves take the lead first at Lowell Park.
Well, I was watching Pete's BP today. I remember Nick and I were out there with KG and with Quinn, 2 assistant coaches for the Braves, and we were really kind of looking at Pete like, this boy's putting some swings on the ball today. And Pete early on doing what he was doing in BP, just slapping it right up the middle, got a first pitch fastball from Fruit and didn't mess around, just ambushed it, and the Braves are on the board.
Tanner Schobel atop of third, and Roberts coming out to the mound to have a word with his starting pitcher, Zach Fruit, who now has given up the first run of the game, only 2 hits. The bases are still loaded. Peter Burns at first, Joshua Moylan at second, and Schobel at third. It all started with Colby Thomas being hit in the helmet with a fastball from Fruit. He took over first. Tanner Schobel walked. Moylan broke the hitless game for the Braves with a base knock down the third base line. Agnos strikeout, and Peter Burns responding with timely hitting as always. Here comes the newcomer, no change on the mound. Roberts just wants to have a word with his pitcher and the infield, Lucas Costello, who we saw for the first time as a substitute for Nick Goodwin.
Yeah, Costello a night ago came in obviously unexpected, didn't expect to come in the game, had 3 swinging strikeouts. So obviously Lucas looking to bounce back, and no better opportunity here with the bases loaded. Looking to come through here against Fruit.
Costello takes a breaking ball from Fruit high, 1-0. Schobel at third, Moylan at second, and Peter Burns at first. The top of the order, and Joe Lampe on deck. Costello. That fastball is going to catch the outer half, sitting at the high 80s. That one clocking in at 88 for Fruit. Coming in with 7 innings pitched. He has 9 strikeouts on the season, the first one coming from Zach Agnos 2 batters ago.
Yeah, Costello rocking the shades today, trying to keep the sun away out in left field, also opting to bring him up to the plate. See some hitters do that, some opt to not. Ooh.
Another one high and inside. 1-1. And Fruit, his pitches are like a magnet going towards the Braves.
Yeah, they really are. Really, Fruit's only really struggled with his command in one outing you look at this year. That was when he faced Falmouth. They won 3-2, and Fruit didn't allow a run, but he walked 3 in an inning and a third. So he did walk 2 in 2 2/3. Obviously, that's over a longer span.
2-1. Costello with a rip foul. Down the left field line, it dribbles out there and past Harvey Shapiro.
But 2 outings in a row for Fruit in which he hasn't walked anybody. One was just he got 1 batter. And the other outing he faced 4 batters, gave up a hit, didn't give up any runs, struck out 2. Fruit, as you mentioned, a 2.57 ERA, is 2-0 on the year. The junior from Eastern Michigan trying to escape some trouble here. He got the big strikeout of Agnos, but Peter Burns coming up clutch for the Braves.
Well, Lucas Costello, the Demon Deacon, who arrived just yesterday, maybe didn't expect to get into the game, but Nick Goodwin was cramping, and all of a sudden he made his Braves debut. A breaking ball high and a full count now for Lucas Costello, for the Demon Deacon, who appeared in 46 games this past 2021 campaign. He had 50 hits, 31 RBIs, and was most often seen at the 1 spot, now at the 9 spot.
But I kind of like a secondary leadoff spot, right? We talk about that all the time,
Exactly.
So maybe Costello can be the guy.
3-2 bases loaded, swing and a miss off high cheese. And a fastball at 87 from Fruit. He gets his 2nd strikeout of the top of the 2nd, and Joe Lampe with another opportunity. In his first appearance just last inning, he grounded to second base, where Brown Jr. was able to handle it easily as the leadoff hitter. Joe Lampe back in the position where he started this season. Christian Knapczyk continues to be absent from this team due to family occurrences at the moment.
Yeah, but Costello there, he about had as easy of a base on balls as you could have had and swung at a pitch at his head. So unfortunate for the Braves to have 2 strikeouts with the bases loaded this inning.
The breaking ball drifting high and outside for the first pitch to Joe Lampe, who's batting at a 268 clip. He has 8 RBIs A base hit could prove to be more. 2 breaking balls and 2 balls. Now 2-0. 2 outs in the top of the second for Joe Lampe, who is in center field today. A natural-born outfielder.
I'd say natural-born leadoff hitter, too. It's just the fact that Christian Knapchak maybe a little more so.
The 2-0. Now 3-0. A fastball drops low by the ankles of Joe Lampe.
Well, you really think about it, the Braves should have 2 bases loaded walks this inning. Zach Agnos on a full count swung at ball 4, and then Lucas Costello on a 3-2 count swung at ball 4. So the Braves realistically and ideally could still have 0 outs in this inning with 2 more runs across and on the verge of walking Joe.
3-0. That's going to catch, but barely on the upper and outer half. Tanner Schobel looking to get home from third by any means necessary in a 3-1 count. Joe Lampe now has to dig back in. 2 outs, 3-1. Another fastball in the same spot, high and outside, catching, and a full count just like that. Fruit battling back. Bases loaded still for the Bourne Braves in blue with the gray pants. Joe Lampe rocking the red socks as always. Payoff pitch. In the middle, swing and a miss. Joe Lampe strands the bases in his second at-bat of this game, but the Braves tack on 1. They leave 3 on the base path. However, 2 hits for the Braves, and Ken Turner will take to the mound in the bottom of the second. The Braves are leading 1-0 and take the lead early on the road. One to nothing, the Braves have taken the lead, but have left 3 on in the top of the second. Ken Turner, second appearance now at a breaking ball low and inside to Noah Bridges, the right fielder for the Cotuit Kettleers.
Yeah, Braves obviously would have loved to have more than just 1 run in that top of the second. Strike there from Ken Turner, but, you know, obviously bases loaded, no outs. You get a strikeout from Agnos. Was just telling you all during the half inning. Got to have more than 1 there, and it doesn't help when you're swinging at pitches at your head. But you take 1, and hopefully it can build off that.
1-1 bounces off the plate and trampolines into the fence.
Well, I think, Daniel, I know you would agree, and I know Nick to my right would agree, but you got to capitalize on those opportunities come postseason time. You know, those are the opportunities where you can't just score 1 run if you're against the second, whoever the second seed is in the West, and if you make it to the championship against a team from the East.
2-1 showing bunt. He didn't connect, though, and that's going to be a strike. 2-2 off an 86-mile-per-hour fastball from Ken Turner. And not just looking towards the playoffs, but just for this game, you know, you tack on 3 runs, 4 runs. That's a tough amount of runs to come back on, and this game could be out of hand early for the Kettleers if we took advantage. A cold strike on the inner half on a changeup from Ken Turner, and down goes Bridges for the first strikeout of this bottom of the second, and the first strikeout from Ken Turner in this game.
Love what I'm seeing from Ken Turner early on. Obviously, had 2 hard hit balls from Grady and Trice. Got the double play ball, then got the ground ball to Anderson. Good start to Bridges. Beautiful changeup that backed up on him. Good start for Ken.
A great pitch there. On the outer half, just missing. Dalton rushing behind the plate. An interesting move. We now have 3 different catchers that are being funneled in and out from Harvey Shapiro.
It's good to say. It's a good luxury to have, I will say.
1-0 breaking ball. Now 1-1 in the middle of the zone to Brett Roberts, the designated hitter who's batting .263. No one on, and Ken Turner from the windup. Swing and a miss on another fastball, 87, and looks like he might be scratching 90 with the fastball for the Hartford pitcher. And again, an opportunity to keep this momentum rolling for the Braves that they're able to go 1-2-3. The 1-2, breaking ball and a good stop from Dalton rushing, 2-2.
Yeah, good stop there from Dalton. 77-mile-an-hour breaker there from Ken, trying to finish off Brett Roberts, the designated hitter tonight.
The Braves are riding a 2-game losing streak for the first time this season. Only have had 1-game losing streaks, which is crazy this late in the season. There goes Colby Thomas. Oh, my goodness. Laying out Superman style and making the catch off a line drive from Roberts in right field. How about that? Colby Thomas with an absolute web gem in the outfield.
Well, Colby Thomas has made at least 6 of those all season long, diving catches, that is. I think that one is number 1, and it's not even close.
Colby.
If you could see this, I don't know if Calvin had that on video. I doubt it just because of defensively, but Colby, that's about as outstretched as you can get for a hard line drive.
First pitch now to Martorella. That's going to be towards Joe Lampe in center, and he makes the catch, but Colby Thomas plays thief and lays out for a stellar diving catch to end the bottom of the second. The Cotuit Kettleers and Ken Turner go 1-2-3 thanks to Colby Thomas and the work from the outfield as well as Joe Lampe. The Braves defense gets it done, sending it to the top of the third. Fruit is still your pitcher for the Cotuit Kettleers. Max Anderson, the leadoff hitter in the top of the third. Dalton rushing on deck. And Reeves Jackson has the play-by-play for the next 2 innings.
Thank you, Daniel. Great job, sir. And the Braves off to a good start. 1 run, diving catch by Colby Thomas. Ken Turner looks great. And the Braves have him 2, 3, and 4 still against Zach Fruit. First pitch, fastball and a called strike. At 88-0-1.
Yeah, well, Fruit's fastball looks incredibly hittable, and I think that even Peter Burns and Joshua Moylan have proved that the 2 hits for the day. But his fastball, when it's on the lower and middle half, these guys are going to jump all over it. Surprised that Max Anderson hasn't. He dropped out to third in his first appearance.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. Does look hittable. The Braves have been jumping on it, at least attempting to. The breaking ball there misses low after a fastball missed high. 2-1 the count to Max Anderson. Simply put it, Daniel, he's been one of the best hitters not only on this team but in the league. And ever since he's arrived in Bourne, was kind of experimented around in 2 different spots in the lineup. First, the 2-1 from Fruit. and Anderson pops it up into shallow right field. There is Noah Bridges, comes in a few steps and makes the catch for out number 1. But real quick back to Anderson. He kind of found his niche in the 2 spot in the lineup, and since then has really kind of stabilized the top of this Braves order right behind Christian Knapczyk and ahead of Dalton Rushing.
Yeah, he has, and Anderson 0 for 2. He's been quiet in the last 2 games, but he has been the guy in the spark plug. He always gets the bat on the ball. That's something that I've been really impressed by. Hasn't gone down much to strikes, but he has been a huge pickup from Nebraska, the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, and he's proving it why down here on the Cape. But Dalton Rushing is a guy who got a home run with 2 outs in the top of the 9th yesterday at Eldridge Park, and he faces a 2-0 count now after a fruit breaking ball misses low and inside. But Dalton Rushing, as the playoffs get closer, he's been on a bit of a cold streak as of late. He was 0 for 15 before that home run.
And Rushing sends this one high and deep to right center field. Outfielders going back. It's into the trees. Dalton Rushing, just as he did last night, a homer again today, is 6th of the season. And the Braves lead it 2-0.
Cold streak, you said?
As a fan reminded, cold streak? What type of cold streak? Is Dalton Rushing makes his way around the bases 0 for 15 before this and responding with 2 home runs in consecutive games.
I think that sums it up. Cold streak? Nah, not so much. That was a nuke from Rushing, and the Braves lead 2-0.
How about that? Dalton Rushing, a frozen rope. It was gone the second he hit it into right center here at Lowell Park.
Here is Colby Thomas, a first pitch fastball, misses away at 88, 1-0 the count. Well, just as you were talking about Rushing, who did break out of that cold spell, you mentioned the 0 for 15, broke out of that with a home run to left center in his last at-bat, not too far from where he left off a night ago as Colby Thomas lifts this one. Shallow center, Grady coming in. He calls off the second baseman Brown, who was going out as well, makes the catch, 2 down. So 2 flyouts in the inning for Zach Fruit. Obviously the home run there from Dalton Rushing as Tanner Schobel steps in. Rushing broke that hitless streak a night ago, and well, it would be great for this Braves lineup to see him take off again. Schobel in. 5-spot hitter. Wind moving slightly out today. Not like Rushing's homer needed it. That ball was sailing into the trees. Only question was it going to be high enough? And once it was, it kept going. 0-1. Fastball to called strike. Outer half there to Schobel. Fruit delivers again. 0-1. Same spot. 0-2.
Just under 300 out there. That was a bomb. Moved into the skyline of the trees, and you knew it was gone when it was amongst the leaves out there. But Dalton Rushing, I mean, now leading in home runs. He has 6 on the season, and he is heating up at the right time here, moving towards the playoffs.
0-2 the count. Here to Tanner Schobel. Fruit establishing the zone early, goes back to a fastball, almost dotted up in the same spot 3 pitches in a row. A little extra on that from Fruit. That was in 90. Hasn't broken 90 too much here today, around 88 to 89. He's working quickly, trying to get out of the inning. 1-2, and Schobel skies it away. Here in the top of the 3rd inning, Braves lead at 2-0. 3 hits for the Braves, 2 hits for the Kettleers. Obviously, big news last night. Braves didn't win, but with the Falmouth loss, the Braves clinched their first Western Division title since 2014. 1-2 from Fruit. Back to the fastball. Schobel somehow able to get a piece of it upstairs, and 1-2 it remains.
It was a bittersweet night last night. We lost 10-5, and just not a good offensive performance. We were depleted as far as batters and guys in our lineup that we could see. Even Costello had to come in, even though we didn't expect him. But we were able to secure the West Divisions. That breaking ball misses outside. Now 2-2, and we were able to secure the 1 spot in the West Division. But we didn't play well against the Orleans Firebirds, looking to come back against a Cotuit team that is very close to being desperate to try and get that 2 spot.
Schobel, little nubber off the end of the bat. It's going to stay fair and trickle over to Martorella. Schobel trying to beat it. The flip over to first is on the ground over to Fruit covering, And that is going to be an infield single, about as lucky as they come for Schobel.
There you go. Keep hot any way you can. Schobel now has gotten on base twice, one with a walk back in the second, and there you go with a little nub down the first base line for a base knock. And he takes over first with Josh Moylan, who broke the ice in the second inning with the first hit off of Fruit, and Fruit's night might be done. Roberts coming out to the mound.
Yeah, Mike Roberts makes the call to the bullpen. The Braves tack on a second run. Fruit struggled through times, did escape out of a big bases-loaded jam, so kudos to him for doing that. Dalton Rutching touches him up for the home run. We'll tell you about the new pitcher here from Lowell Park in the top of the third when we come back on the Bourne Braves YouTube live stream. New pitcher on here for the Kettleers in the top of the third. It is the right-hander Ian Fago here. Daniel making his third appearance of the season. Tell you about the first pitch before we introduce him. Well, not a good start for Fago. He is going to hit Josh Moylan with the breaking ball, and with that, I'll let you introduce him.
Well, that's the second Bourne Brave that's been hit by a pitch from a Cotuit Kettleer pitcher. He's 0 for 1 coming into the game with a 2.70 ERA. He has 2 games, one against Brewster and one against Chatham. The furthest that he's gone is 3 1/3 inning. He let up a run, 2 hits, 1 earned run, and he has 5 strikeouts off 3 walks, so he struggles with his accuracy, and we saw that just there against Josh Moylan, who trots down to first and now takes the lead at first.
Here's Agnos. Reminder, there's 2 down here in the inning. Braves leading this game 2-0. First pitch at 94. Good velocity there. First fastball we've seen from Fago after the breaking ball hit Moylan. So Moylan has been aboard his first 2 trips. 1 for 1, a single, now a hit by pitch. The other hit by pitch hit Colby Thomas. That was a scary one up in the head, near the helmet, right off the helmet. Good crowd here today from Lowell Park, as we expected. And Agnos Tardy on 94-0-2.
The Lenore-Rhine pitcher is throwing heat right now, sitting in the middle 90s, and it looks like he was an addition after the MLB draft, where a lot of teams have had to adjust to the players that were lost and the players that are now going to be lost to academic years starting and college coaches shutting players down. So
great pitch, and fastball rings up Agnos' outer half. He questions the call from the home plate umpire and still telling him that it was outside. Not happy there is Agnos. A little more animated than we've ever seen him. We head to the bottom of the third. Braves get a homer from Rushing, now lead this game 2-0. Back here in the bottom of the third, Ken Turner dealing first pitch breaking ball to Matt Suggs, the left fielder. 76, ball one though, down and away. Ken Turner, a 2.51 ERA, coming into this matchup. His third start of the season, good breaking ball there. Doubles up with it, this one a strike.
yeah, Ken Turner got himself into a little bit of trouble early on. Again, he's not a natural starter as far as down here on the Cape, but he got his footing and is now pitching really well. And they say that Matt Suggs went off a check swing there, so now a 1-2 count for Ken Turner, who, as I mentioned, the Hartford pitcher, he's now in his fourth inning straight, and one more and he could be looking at a win potentially. 2-0, the Braves have taken the lead. One tacked on by Dalton Rushing homer.
1-2, another check swing. This one Suggs wasn't close. They do appeal. And obviously safe the call from the first base umpire as far as him holding up the swing. Well, a great crowd in Cotuit. I mentioned, obviously, the grandstand's pretty much filled to capacity. You look along the left field line, and you look out in the outfield near the Cotuit bullpen, and boy, oh boy, fans are all over the place. Here, 2-2 from Ken, fastball away, full count. Obviously, just get big crowds regardless here in Cotuit Tuesday afternoon, but obviously it helps when the first place Bourne Braves, a rival of Cotuit, come into Lowell Park as well. But also, another factor, the beautiful day, obviously. So nice. This one fouled off on its way for the parking lot. Cars send up their prayers, and we don't hear anything.
Well, I should say this is Ken Turner's third appearance in third inning, so you know, this 4:30 matinee style is really screwing me up, Reeves. We haven't had this
No,
this
we
season.
haven't. We haven't. Full count from Ken. Breaking ball, high ball 4. Leadoff walk to Matt Suggs, the 8-hole hitter. Obviously, not what Ken wanted to do, but I'll have to try to work around it. You know, we've talked about cars getting hit in parking lots this season. It's been, you know, a topic of discussion, and we've honestly been, at least the fans have been pretty lucky when we are at visiting ballparks that we don't see cars get hit. The only one that we really know of is the one when we were in Cotuit earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
The first time we actually got a full game in against these Kettleers as Donlin steps in. First pitch to him. Fastball. Grounded over to third. Nice backhand stab by Anderson to second for one. Agnos to first. What a turn around the horn. 5-4-3. And the Braves get 2.
That is as clean a double play as you are going to see, and it wasn't easy. Max Anderson made it look easy, but that is a tough play. The backhander down the third base line swings it over to Zach Agnos at second, who swings it over to Moylan at first. That is a 5-4-3 double play for out number 2, and again, the defense bailing Ken Turner out.
Ken has induced 2 of those today. A Braves pitching staff that really hasn't induced many double plays this season has gotten 2 in the first 3 innings tonight as the left-handed hitting Jace Grady, leadoff hitter, steps in and fouls it away. Well, Daniel, leading into that story, I was talking about not many cars being hit. Wareham's producer, obviously I know the Wareham broadcaster, Jack Sadegan, but their producer has had his own car hit 3 separate times by foul balls this year. As this one lifted foul. That's
some real bad luck.
Not good luck at all.
Well,
you think he would just park further away?
You know, I'm the type of guy though that I like if I see that parking spot and it's full, I think I might be taking the chance.
Oh my.
I don't know.
I guess it depends what car you have. Not saying yours is a nice car,
Yeah,
but if you got a new, hey, grounded over to short from Grady. It's gonna kick off the heel. Oh, it ricochets to Agnos and unable to get Grady. It was almost a highlight reel play, but safe at first is Jace Grady. It kicked off the heel of the glove of Schobel, ricocheted in the air. Agnos caught it on a bare hand. Something you would see in a Sports Center top 10 if the Braves were able to get an out.
That would have been incredible. It ricocheted off the palm of Tanner Schobel right into the bare hand, right hand of Zach Agnos. It was so close, and we almost saw one of the most rare plays you're going to see. Just tardy on the throw.
Would have been scored a 6-4-3 putout, not a double play. You don't see many of those. Obviously, though, it's an infield.
6-4-3 single play.
It is going to go as an error to Tanner Schobel.
Well, let's go back to the hate that my Nissan Pathfinder's getting now.
I know. No, we're going back. We're going back.
What are you trying to say
I wasn't
about,
saying your car wasn't nice. I was just saying.
What are you saying about the
Daniel,
war wagon?
I love the wagon. Are you kidding me? I'm saying would you be parking there if you had a 2019 Mercedes?
Maybe not.
Okay. First pitch strike there to the 2-0 hitter, Carter Trice.
And maybe I wouldn't if I had paid for the car on my own and it wasn't a family car.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I think my dad might kill me if I did that. Nick, would you park your car where it can get hit? Yeah, do you care? Oh, you did. He said he did park his car where it could get hit.
I think I'm right next to Nick. I don't know.
I made sure I tried to get as far back in the parking lot as I could. Hopefully it stays safe. Nothing and 1 the count to Carter Trice. He singled his first time to right field. That dropped in front of Colby. Ken, another check on Jace Grady over at first, but nothing doing.
Well, Jace Grady has gotten on base twice. An E6 from Tanner Schobel and a base knock against Ken Turner. That was followed by a Carter Trice base knock, who's now up to the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the third.
Nothing and 1 good breaking ball. I think for Ken, it caught maybe a little too much of the plate, but taken there from Trice. Nothing and 2, the count, 2 down. Bottom of the third, Braves leading 2-0. They did it off of a Peter Burns bases loaded RBI single to center and a Dalton Rushing solo shot an inning later. Slight wind blowing out towards left center today, but not too much to speak of. Nothing and 2, breaking ball. He did go around ball. Unfortunately for the Braves, ricochets all the way to the deep Cotuit backstop, so it'll be a drop third strike, and aboard at first is Trice 2 aboard and 2 down.
Just an unfortunate play. It was a nice pitch by Turner and a really hard ball for Dalton Rushing to keep in front of him. But just like that, 2 Kettleers on base with the dangerous Ryan Ritter. Now stepping in with 2 outs in the bottom of the third, and Ken Turner just has to put that out of his mind and focus on the batter at hand now. Dalton Rushing kicking himself after that one.
Well, tough guy to get out here in Ryan Ritter, the shortstop from the Kentucky Wildcats. First and second, Cotuit trying to strike here as swing and a miss. Good slider there from Turner at 76. Had a Ritter way out in front, 0-1.
One of our own, a former Bourne Brave, will be transferring to the University of Connecticut in John Thrasher, and he announced that just after he departed from the team. He'll be a teammate of Ryan Ritter's here, and Ritter has an opportunity with men on first and second, Ken Turner has posted a scoreless game so far for the Braves.
Yeah, Thrasher obviously was on this Bourne Braves team at the beginning of the season, and who knows, as the Braves search for outfield options, Thrasher, a name that could come up, you never know. Braves could explore, but, you know, good for Thrasher, transferring from Hartford, obviously was with Ken Turner, and now will obviously be with Kentucky.
Good transition. Now we'll be going to SEC play. So Hartford versus Kentucky here. And Hartford gets the advantage there.
Yeah, speak of the devil, yep. 1-2, 89 from Ken. Swing and a miss from Ritter. Daniel, how are you attacking this two-strike situation? Are you going back to the fastball, or are you going to try to spin something off here?
Ritter is taking some massive hacks here. I would go with the breaking ball, and especially if you're ahead 1-2, you have some room to play with. You have good defense behind you. I'd go with the breaking ball.
Goes back to the fastball. This one misses away. 2-2 at 89. You're right, though. Ritter obviously was timing up that fastball, maybe try to get him out front with that slider just as he did on the first pitch. Well, deuces are wild here with two Kettleers on in the form of Grady and Trice. 2 outs. Count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Braves outfield playing fairly straight up. Colby closer to the line and right. 2-2. Ripped foul. Pulled past Mike Roberts, who's well away from the third base coaching box near the Kettleers dugout. Might have been his own fault there if he had gotten hit. Obviously, Mike Roberts in the storied Kettleers program, his 17th season with Cotuit. And 17 titles for the Kettleers. No, not all 17 for Mike Roberts, but he has done a tremendous job. Obviously, Cotuit, the reigning CCBL champions, the last time in 2019. But trying to fight for a playoff spot at the end of the year. 2-2 breaking ball ripped to Anderson. It's off his glove. It trickles into shallow left field. Coming to the plate is Grady. There will be no throw as Schobel puts it in his back pocket. Tough break for the Braves. They get a strikeout of Trice. He reaches aboard, and a hard line drive trickles off of the glove of Anderson, and the Kettleers are on the board.
Yeah, really hard play for Max Anderson, but one that he is looking to get back. That's going to be counted as an error, and Ken Turner, unfortunately, has led across the first runner of the game. 2-1. The lead is cut in half.
Well, really, none of this inning at the fault of Ken Turner. Had an error by Tanner Schobel with 2 down after the double play. Struck out Carter Trice. He reached on a drop third strike, and then an E5 there on Anderson, who couldn't catch the line drive. Eric Brown steps up. It was definitely off of the glove of Anderson. Rushing has this one go off the glove. Runner going to third. Throw is going to be late. Thought it was a good call from the field umpire. Just got the foot in there, did Trice, and it's second and third.
Again, these Cotuit Kettleers are off to the races on the base path. Scoring was Jace Grady, and even after the error from Max Anderson, I thought Roberts was going to hold him up, but he has been aggressive, and he sent him home, and it paid off.
Here is Eric Brown Jr., second and third now. 2 down. Turner will work out of the stretch. Has a similar field to last night's first inning as Brown rips it into left field, a base hit. Trice scores. Ritter's going to be stopped by Coach Roberts, and the Kettleers have tied it up. All these runs unearned to Ken Turner, who is just yet to catch a break this inning. And back what I was saying, it almost feels similar to yesterday's first inning. Jake Bennett gets a double play ball, 2 down, infield single, another infield single that could have been out, then a 3-run homer here, an E6, a drop third strike where the runner reaches, an E5, and then obviously on that E5 a run scored, and then Eric Brown an RBI single. All of a sudden we're tied, and Ed Marco is paying a visit.
If I was Eddie Marco and Harvey Shapiro, I would let Ken Turner take this inning because I think he's earned it. You know, he had a dropped third strike that got behind Dalton Rushing. Hasn't really been the fault of Ken Turner, but I think we might be seeing a new pitcher after this. This game is knotted up just like that off of 2 errors in the bottom of the third. One from Tanner Schobel, one from Max Anderson. The left side of the infield has been getting peppered.
And they haven't been helping Ken Turner out. Nothing that Ken Turner has been able to do about it. But trying to work out of things here, first and third for Noah Bridges. The right fielder, he struck out swinging in his first plate appearance. That was to lead off the second inning. Schobel is shading Bridges a little bit up the middle. He's playing right behind the umpire from at least our vantage point here on the first base side of the backstop, and a first pitch fastball misses outside. 1-0 the count. Runners take their leads, and Turner delivers. That's downstairs.
This is Noah Bridges, who struck out in the second. Tell you what, these batters early on are getting their opportunities today. We might be seeing 5 at-bats for guys in the lineup on each side tonight, by the way that this game's going. The real opponent is also going to be the sun. I mean, especially here at Lowell Park with no lights.
2-0 ripped. That is fair inside the first base line. That's going to score Ritter. Eric Brown coming to third. Roberts waving him to the plate. Thomas digs it out of the corner. Heading to third is Bridges, and he's safe with a slide. A 2-run triple, and Cotuit has exploded for 4 here in the third.
Ken Turner's getting hit up now. The errors added up, and now the Cotuit Kettleers have jumped on the opportunity. Ryan Ritter scores, and Noah Bridges slides in head first for the triple on a laser that gets past Joshua Moylan, parallel to the right field line. And just like that, the Cotuit Kettleers have put up 4 in the bottom of the third.
Brett Roberts, a fastball high, 1-0. So the 2 errors for the Braves culminating into a disastrous inning in which everything has fell apart. And now that situation for the Braves earlier in the game, as this fastball fouled off to the backstop, where they were only able to muster up 1 run with the bases loaded and no outs, at least early on in the game. A lot of time left, but coming to prove costly. Got to take advantage of opportunities offensively, especially early on in the game. 1-1 from Ken, breaking ball. The rushing gloves in the dirt. 2-1.
2-1, and Ken Turner remains in this game. Have to imagine a pitching change will be coming soon. Harvey Shapiro looks poised over there. If this at-bat doesn't go the way that we want it, as that breaking ball is swung on and missed with a 2-2 count now, an 81-mile-per-hour breaking ball from Ken Turner, you have to imagine Harvey Shapiro will be making a change. But, again, they're committed to Ken Turner taking the bottom of the third here.
2-2, and chopped foul by Roberts. But as you mentioned, starting to hit up Ken Turner, the single from Brown, the triple from Bridges. Nothing that Moylan could do about it, just went all the way down into the right field corner. An inning that we forget started with a walk and then a double play that was beautifully turned by Anderson. Breaking ball called strike 3. That rings up Roberts. But Cotuit gets 4. They do it with the help of a pair of Braves errors, a drop third strike, and a whole bunch of things going wrong for the Braves on the defensive side of the ball as we head to the top of the 4th. Cotuit gets 4, now leads 4-2. Ian Fago back out on the mound for the Kettleers, trying to have a shutdown inning after Cotuit explodes for 4, all of them unearned runs. Credited to Ken Turner when the Braves defensively, ideally and realistically, could have made 6 outs if you count them up in that inning. They made the 3 and left 3 out there. As Peter Bourne steps to the plate, but it's done now. Braves got to live with it and try to come back offensively against the hard-throwing Fago. First pitch at 93 away for ball 1 from Lenore Ryan University, 6'1", 205-pounder from Hilton Head, South Carolina. Good pitch right there, 94, strike 1.
His fastball is considerably faster than Fruit's, about 5 to 7 miles per hour faster, sitting in the low 90s, usually mid-90s. That one right there, 94.
Fago turned 23 years old on June 1st, 20 days before the season started. Breaking ball that hits Peter Burns. Well, the Braves have been getting a plethora of hit by pitches today. Their third one of the game, and the Braves have a leadoff runner aboard. As Lucas Costello steps to the plate, trying to break out of the 4 straight strikeouts that he has culminated to begin the season. All of them swinging, though. And could have watched ball 4 and an RBI upstairs his last time with the bases loaded and 1 down, but went down chasing. His first pitch from Fago out of the stretch, fastball called strike.
Again, Lucas Costello still struggling at the plate and looking for his first hit of his Cape League career, but we need to continue to take advantage of the opportunities that the Kettleers pitchers are giving us. That's the 3rd batter hit by a pitch.
0-1, fastball and Costello tardy. Obviously for Lucas, no matter the situation, for any hitter, no matter how good you are, always tough to come into a team that's already established late in the year, especially just getting thrusted into the lineup, getting at-bats right away. That's tough for any hitter to do, especially on a new team against pitchers that you haven't seen all year. He's down here 0-2 to the right-hander who kicks and fires, and Costello swinging. This one popped way up, but also foul behind the backstop, out of play. Costello went way up the ladder to chase that one and somehow got a piece of it.
Costello now behind 0-2. It was well high. He's been chasing those high fastballs today. He had an opportunity with bases loaded to take one for ball 4, but he chased another high fastball.
Fago delivers, 0-2. Fastball, good eye there from Costello. It was in the same spot, close to the chin as far as the height, but was straight above the strike zone. 1-2. Sunny skies above Lowell Park. 5:40 the time as Costello pops it up. This one drifting back, heading towards us. Will it stay in? It will, Donlin. He got it. He tipped it up into the glove, and then coming down to a fall, the ball popped right back in. Costello just can't catch a break.
Wow, what a catch from Donlin. He got the self-assist there. It bounced out of his glove. He realized it, recovered, and poised. Basket caught it once again. That's a funky out, number 1. Peter Burns on first after being hit by a pitch, and Joe Lampy, the top of the order, now due up. Looks like the speed and the velocity of Fago is really catching up to these Braves now. Couple of foul pitches or foul balls, I should say, off of some fast pitches, and Costello again, still looking for his first hit wearing the Braves unis.
Well, Joe Lampy has watched the first 2 miss, 2-0 the count. So for Costello, steps in the right direction at least. Did not go down via a strikeout. Tries to build upon. His at-bats will obviously see time out in the outfield, especially now that Nick Goodwin has gone down. Don't know for how long. 2-0 fastball called strike. Turn it over to Nick Galley real quick. Nick, did you hear anything about Nick Goodwin as far as an estimate time?
Yeah, I talked with Nick during BP today. He said he's feeling much better today, much better than yesterday. No timetable on that exactly yet, but he is feeling better from yesterday.
Have to imagine that they're just trying to keep him poised for the playoffs.
On the move here, throw down to second, and Peter Burns is taken care of. Strong throw there from Donlin. Rarely do you see a catcher on the move. He's the DH today for the Braves. Peter Burns tossed out 2 away.
Peter Burns getting a taste of his own medicine there. A double clutch and just a really good throw from Donlin. It's been the inning of Donlin behind the plate so far.
Well, I guess that little hit over to Nick Galley, count that as our sideline hit for road games. That was good, Nick. 2-2 to Joe Lampy. Bounces over to second. Brown Jr. fields and throws to first. And the Braves go down. A hit by pitch to begin the inning. A pop-up, a caught stealing, and a bouncer to second ends things for the Braves as we head to the home fourth, trailing by 2. Here is Nathan Martorella, bottom half of this Cotuit lineup, 7-8-9, the left-handed hitting Martorella, who is the weight as far back as he can on that left leg with the open stance. Both legs bowed at the knee, a first pitch called strike, breaking ball from Ken, 0-1.
Ken getting his fourth opportunity, and as you said, you know, we don't have the depth that we used to with the bullpen now, especially with the departures, so Ken Turner getting another opportunity to right the ship.
Well, second pitch, a fastball called strike. This one misses high, 1-2.
4 runs scored in the bottom of the third, most of which were not Ken Turner's fault.
Swing and a miss, pulled a string, beautiful changeup, and down goes Martorella for the first out.
There you go, Ken Turner. There were 2 errors, one by Tanner Schobel, one by Max Anderson on the left side of the infield, and that spurred a 4-run rally from the Cotuit Kettleers, not to mention a dropped strike 3 by Dalton Rushing after a tough breaking ball to field.
First pitch from Ken, a ball that misses low. Well, it certainly does feel almost, it's a little alleviating knowing that even when these games happen where, you know, you give up big innings and you're facing a division rival, this breaking ball misses a tad high, 2-0. At least you have an alleviating feeling now of knowing, okay, at least we're in the playoffs. We've already clinched the division. So, you know, you can afford to lose these games. Obviously, we're saying that you don't want to lose these games. You want to win as many as you can. You want to be going into the playoffs hot. Breaking ball called strike 2-1. Historically, teams that go into the postseason cold don't fare as well. I would just go with an obvious statement, just stating the obvious. But 2-1, fastball just missed. Rushing tried to frame it 3-1. And for the Braves, they want to be going into the playoffs as hot as they possibly can, especially with the losses that they will accrue over the course of the final 9 games. We know that some pitchers might be on their way out. This is what we've been hearing. 3-1. This one skied over our heads, and destined for the trees. Almost
Well,
caught by a fan.
Again, this is a period for Harvey Shapiro to find out how this team with the new additions and the new losses is best fitted moving into the playoffs. So we know that we have the one spot. Will Ken Turner be a guy that we see who's starting in his second game here? Will he be a starter in the playoffs?
Bounce to third. Anderson gets the hop high throw. Moylan tries the tag and didn't get him. It's the Braves' third error of the game. It's Anderson's second. And defensively, the Braves not sound today.
No, and that was an identical play to the one we saw from Anderson, except for the throw. The back in the first inning, just unable to get it to the chest of Joshua Moylan, who had to try and make an acrobatic tag. Didn't work, though, and too quick was Matt Suggs. Matt Donlin, who was getting it done behind the plate defensively, looking to do so in the batter's box. He grounded into a double play his last appearance.
Breaking ball called strike there to the 9-hole hitter Donlin. Well, Ken Turner has been successful in 2 of the first 3 innings today as induced double play balls. Would love one here to the catcher Donlin, who's already hit into one in his first plate appearance. That was over to Anderson his last time up, just an inning ago. Fastball down low at 88. Count is even here, a ball and a strike, 1 down. Cotuit leading 4-2. Both teams equal in the hit column with 4. But the difference in this game has been defensively, the Braves committing 3 errors. Cotuit has been perfect. Braves did get a web gem from Colby Thomas as this one lifted out of play foul.
But as I was saying, this is a time where we know that we are going to be the one-spot team in the West. So Ken Turner with his second start, will he be a playoff starter? Will Lucas Costello be at the 9th spot when the playoffs come around? Will Peter Bourne stay at designated hitter, or do we want him to be the one-spot catcher? There's a lot of questions that are still up in the air, especially where guys like Braylon Wimmer and Caden Wallace, who have left the team, are now leaving a hole that needs to be answered for.
Count at a ball and 2 strikes. Here to Donlin, breaking ball, bounce to third again. Anderson backhand, and that kicks off his glove, and it's into left field. Deep down the foul line, over goes Costello. Don't know how that will be scored, but regardless, Max Anderson having a tough day of it. It's going to be scored a base hit. Had a tricky bounce on Anderson's glove, and ricocheted into left field. So a double for Matt Donlin. Over to third goes Suggs.
Yeah, just not having a good day defensively over there, and seems like an instance that Max Anderson has made 2 errors, and now he's in his own head a little bit,
yeah,
maybe.
absolutely.
Instincts, and Harvey Shapiro's might be making a change here for Ken Turner, and it's not his fault, but just for the sake of this game, there might need to be a change coming.
Well, you feel for Ken Turner because the kid really did not pitch as bad as the score suggests. Actually pitched quite well. But regardless, he will exit from the game, we presume. Harvey Shapiro out. We'll make sure he makes the change before we cut to the break as he talks things over with Ken Turner. And now, after a quick discussion, looks like Ken gets high fives all around as he should and leaves this game down 4-2.